And finally, new rule, stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Bill Maher takes direct aim at the American misunderstanding of karma, using his recent clash with Whoopi Goldberg as a prime example of how the term has been distorted. After Goldberg criticized Maher on The View, she was later suspended from the show, leading many to gleefully claim that this was karma at work, an act of cosmic justice repaying her for attacking him. But Maher swiftly dismantles this idea, arguing that karma, as Americans use it, is nothing more than a feel-good illusion, a way for people to rationalize their own grudges and celebrate the misfortunes of others. Rather than a spiritual principle guiding ethical behavior across lifetimes, karma in the modern American lexicon has become a vengeful and petty scoreboard where every unfortunate event is framed as divine punishment. Maher insists that life is fundamentally random and that attributing every instance of poetic irony to karma is not just intellectually lazy, but also a reflection of the country's increasingly vindictive culture. Instead of embracing karma as a lesson in self-awareness, Americans have weaponized it, turning it into an excuse for schadenfreude, the German word for taking pleasure in someone else's suffering. By confronting Whoopi Goldberg's so-called karmic punishment, Maher challenges the public to rethink their obsession with seeing justice in every downfall, and urges them to adopt a more rational, detached perspective on life's inevitable ups and downs.
I mentioned this karma stuff on the show last week because I was relating how many texts and emails I got from people congratulating me on receiving a karmagram from the universe in the form of Whoopi Goldberg's chastisement. So I thought this would be a good time for a little tutorial on karma, which, as Americans understand it, is nothing more than an extension of the common logical fallacy called post hoc ergo propter hoc, which means after that, because of that. It's the fallacy that happens when someone assumes that if one thing follows another, then the first thing must have caused the second thing. Like, I wore green socks every day last year and I never got into a car accident. Green socks must prevent car accidents.
So, let's talk about it. When most Americans hear the word karma, they immediately think of it as some kind of cosmic payback system, like a moral scoreboard where good deeds earn rewards and bad actions bring punishment. It's basically the instant karma idea we see all over social media. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and a minute later they get pulled over. That's karma, right? Well, not really. Maher argues that this version of karma isn't actually karma at all. It's more like Catholic guilt wrapped in a New Age bow. Think about it. In many Western religious traditions, there's this idea that if you do good, you'll be rewarded, and if you do bad, you'll suffer the consequences either in this life or the next. But real karma? It's not that simple. Karma, in its original Sanskrit meaning, just refers to action, not divine punishment, not some spiritual vending machine where you put in kindness and get good fortune in return. It's more about the long-term impact of your choices. Your actions shape who you are and how you interact with the world, but it's not some magical force handing out instant justice. This is where Americans really miss the point. We've taken a deep philosophical concept and turned it into a revenge fantasy, a way to feel good when bad things happen to people we don't like. Maher is not wrong when he says that we've twisted karma into something bitter and petty, just another excuse to celebrate other people's downfalls instead of focusing on our own actions.
And Whoopi Goldberg getting suspended by The View isn't karma, and I wouldn't want it if it was. People have to learn to disagree in this country and not hate for it. As I mentioned last week, How could a nation like America have maintained an apartheid state for the vast majority of its history and expect the views of the races to match on all matters? It's amazing they match on any. Whoopi Goldberg shouldn't have to conform to or apologize for her views on race, as much as I disagree with them. And she certainly shouldn't have to sit out like a child and think about what she did. The View suspending someone for sharing a view is like firing Pat Sajak for selling a vowel. We have got to get past this endless, unforgiving, zero-tolerance mindset bent on punishing and disappearing anyone caught saying the wrong thing. The right response to speech you don't like is more speech, not the lazy, cowardly response of canceling people. This is a big country with lots of people who don't think like you. We all only need to agree on free speech itself. That's my religious belief. That's the timeless principle I live by. I don't like what Whoopi said about race. She didn't like what I said about what. The real essence of karma, by the way, is non-attachment, letting shit go. It's very zen. Oh, and by the way, no one knows what that means either.
First up, Maher calls out the idea that every bad thing that happens to someone is karma. We love to believe that people get what they deserve. But the truth is, life doesn't work like that. Sometimes, bad things happen for no reason at all, not because of some universal justice system keeping score. Think about it. If a billionaire cheats his way to the top and never faces any consequences, where's the karma in that? Meanwhile, good, hard-working people suffer tragedies every day. Maher is basically saying that we invent connections where none exist just to make ourselves feel better. If someone we don't like has a downfall, we call it karma. But really, it's just the randomness of life. And let's be real. Americans love turning karma into a weapon. We don't use it to reflect on our own actions. We use it to justify personal vendettas. Oh, that celebrity was rude, and now they lost their job. Must be karma. No, it's just something bad happening, like it does to everyone at some point. Now this ties directly into Maher's second big point, cancel culture. He argues that instead of responding to speech we don't like with more speech, we just try to erase people who say the wrong thing. We've created a culture where one bad take, one wrong joke, or one unpopular opinion can get you blacklisted. People aren't allowed to learn or grow anymore. They're just expected to be perfect or they get wiped out. Maher brings up Whoopi Goldberg's suspension from The View as an example. Did she say something people didn't like? Sure. But does that mean she should be punished like a child and forced to disappear for a while? That's where Maher draws the line. His point is simple. Free speech only works if we actually let people speak. You don't have to agree with everything someone says, but trying to cancel them instead of debating their ideas? That's just lazy. Wishy-throwing. So, what's your take? Do you agree with Maher that life is just random chaos, not karma? And has cancel culture gone too far in trying to silence opinions instead of engaging with them? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive like this. See you next time.